87 degrees is your high while the sun's out, but later in the afternoon, expect for that rain to roll in. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., and overnight a 60% chance of rain with a low of 66. This has been your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center.
It's 11:06 on WSIC News Radio, and you're listening to really?
Yes, already.
Get it together. Good Lord. You're listening to We're Just Saying with Senator Vickie, Sawyer, and David. We are streaming live on the WSIC News Facebook page, on YouTube, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on LinkedIn. If you'd like to be part of the show, 844-STUDIO-4. Senator Sawyer, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So feeling a little pressure.
Why?
Well, because, when we were not being in podcast format, I felt like, we'd go to Statesville and kind of hang out and talk to our listeners. And we had that, a smaller listener base, and felt like I could say everything. And now I'm feeling a little under the gun. Like I have to deliver
because you're being
every
archived
week
on the interwebs.
Yes, exactly.
I can fully understand. There's just some pressure there.
There's pressure
to make sure what you're saying. Though I did, it was awesome to. I sat in for Representative Jason Sayin on All Things Sayin on Wednesday. Had Larry Shaheen on with me, and I can tell you he had no such concerns.
Okay,
he had no such concerns about podcasting. He was, in fact, encouraging it. But that's what I love about Larry. He brings the unvarnished conservative message, and it was really great to do that. But I'm very happy to be back with you here.
Me
3
too.
weeks in a row?
Yeah, that's right. You know what though? Maybe not next week.
Why not next week?
Why not next week? No TV for me.
No TV for you?
No TV for me.
How come?
It might be budget week.
Really? Are we finally going to get a vote?
Okay, I don't know.
You don't know. Well, you heard it here, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here that Senator Sawyer don't know.
Don't know.
So I was in Raleigh this week, and I was excited to be there. We're doing some things training-wise, modernization of a government facility and doing things for constituent management. So I was trying to learn the new system, so I spent some time with that.
Which government facility?
Well, actually, the General Assembly. So I've been asking for what's called a customer resource management database since I got there because it's so difficult. We just use Outlook. This is so boring. But anyways, we have a new system where we actually can archive conversations that we have with constituents. And so we know what's going on and a little bit better constituent services. So I'm incredibly excited for it. It's also incredibly confusing.
Oh, is it? Well, anytime you have to learn a new technology,
well,
and especially
I'm
a government
old.
one.
Like it's hard for old people to learn new things.
Not that old.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty old.
Well, I think the good thing is that you're adaptable.
Okay, let's say that.
And obviously, you spent some time in Raleigh actually doing some homework, trying to figure out how to run it, which is good. But obviously, next week, are you feeling like are we going to be in like some 1 a.m. budget votes or something like that?
So I don't know. My understanding, what we have been told, is that the idea is we will see. That means we, as in the elected representatives, will see the budget on Tuesday, maybe Monday night, caucus it on Tuesday. But in order for that to happen, generally central staff needs about 6 days to get everything together. And as of 3 p.m. yesterday, I don't know that everything was together.
Really?
Right.
Man, that's and central staff, just for those who don't know, right? They're the actual sort of I guess the wonks, if you will, that understand budget and everything like that, and put all the many pages together. And then, do you all get printouts, or do you get it emailed to you?
So both. So we will get printouts, each and every one of us, and it's actually very interesting. And you see these people walk around with these carts with these really heavy budgets and giving everyone out, and they come into your office and you just hear thud. Just thud. Here you go. You're like, oh, great. Well, because I'm obviously going to be able to read that in the time that you give me in order to get, vote yes or no for it. But yeah, so that's where we're at. But they do also put it online, so it makes it easy, searchable, and all this other stuff. So you have both options. But that's where we're at. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but I did talk to a budget writer on the Senate side, and he was not surprised if it didn't happen on Tuesday.
Didn't happen on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday?
I don't know.
Are we looking at Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see if I'm here Friday or not. If
Where's
I'm not
the
here
intel? Where's the intel?
Although my name is listed as a conferee on the budget, you'll be surprised I have not been conferred with.
So it's an honorary title.
It's an honorary title. I'm grateful to be there. But they're not calling Senator Sawyer to see what she feels on any certain topic. But
Well, then obviously it's just because you have been highly effectual at making your viewpoints known
That's right.
in advance.
That's right.
And so
That's
they're already
right.
taking them into account.
Yeah.
So outside of budget, hopefully, fingers crossed,
Yes.
done next week,
Right.
what is left for you all to do?
We do have some we do have some overrides that Governor Cooper has vetoed some bills coming up. And one, namely, is election bill and the Board of Elections bill. And so we've got those things coming in, but it's going to be a pretty tight ship. After that, then we look at what's called redistricting.
You get to draw maps again.
Yay! North Carolina, we draw maps every 2 years.
It's like the song that never ends.
Yes, exactly.
It's like the map drawing that never ends.
You know, I'm going to confess something.
What?
I don't remember what my district number is mostly. Because ever since I've been in here, I have had a new district number every session.
Really?
Remember, I was appointed.
That's right, yes.
I was appointed, so I was in South Iredell, Lincoln, and Gaston. So
Right.
that was a different district. And then the next time I served from Iredell and Yadkin.
Right.
And now I'm serving in Iredell and Mecklenburg. And so I just know where the boundaries are. I don't even worry about the number anymore.
I think, see, our engineer Bill, our
So it
crack
is
engineer
30s.
Bill.
I'm kidding, yeah.
But you're not kidding. You didn't know. You didn't know. But our crack engineer
Yeah.
Bill, always there with the research.
Thank you, Bill.
District
Thank you.
37, saving you again.
Yeah, right. Well, but I just know where home is, and so that's where I represent.
You know your address, right?
Yeah, exactly.
844 Studio 4 if you'd like to be part of the show. So obviously drawing maps and then hopefully done.
Done. Hopefully before Christmas. Yes.
Please before Christmas.
And thank God. Hopefully, I mean, I'm very nervous about this Hurricane Lee coming up. Have you seen that? And
I keep trying to figure out what the trajectory is going to be.
Yeah.
Because right now I think, is it still heading this way?
what, with your meteorology degree?
You know,
I mean, why?
Says the woman who doesn't know a district number. You're going to come at me like that? You don't know your district number, and you're going to talk to me about my
I
meteorological
do
skills?
know my district number. I'm goofing.
Now you do, because Bill told you. But yes, I consider myself somewhat of a savant when it comes to
really?
following the paths of hurricanes.
Okay.
And I'm still trying to ascertain which way this is going to go before Brad Panovich calls me.
Okay,
Because
all
I'm
right.
actually his go-to.
I'm sure. And Brad Panovich is a local trusted weatherman
Trusted
here, a
weatherman here.
meteorologist.
Never wrong, Brad Panovich.
Yeah, I know. So we will, so I'm worried about that because, we usually come together when we have times of major hurricane problems. And so, I don't know. I don't know when we're ever going to come home.
Really?
Yeah, I don't,
Well-
I mean, okay. So honestly, I have ideas, but even if you say them out loud, it's always being proven that it doesn't work
Yeah.
or never says. So why even articulate it? Because you'll just be made a liar in the future.
So minus a hurricane, right? I mean, in an ideal world,
Yeah.
right? Redistricting and everything like that I would have to think, isn't redistricting going to go pretty quick? I mean, you've drawn maps so many times.
I would assume so.
Can't you just go back to the file, pick one out, and say,
Yeah.
this is the one we're going with?
Yeah. So I don't serve on the redistricting committee, so I really don't know what goes on with those kind of things. I do get to see the maps as we vote on them. And we have seen it every 2 years. We actually, talking about gambling, do you remember when they brought in an actual, from the North Carolina lottery, a ball machine? And
I do remember that.
And they picked out which maps we started with. We had a whole host of maps.
Science.
And I should have known back then that casinos were coming. I should have known back then that we were going to have sports betting and casinos and VLTs when they pulled out the lottery machine for redistricting.
See, I think that's awesome, quite frankly. I mean, I think, honestly, I really feel like that if we did more random number generation type of legislation, I really don't know how much worse it could end up on some things.
Hey, are you calling what we're doing is
Never.
random and non-thoughtful?
No, it's
Are you a
very thoughtful.
Democrat?
Maybe that's the problem.
Oh,
Maybe that's the
okay,
problem.
okay.
Maybe you're just too thoughtful.
Is that what it is?
Maybe you're too thoughtful. Maybe some entering in a little bit of random chance, would it kill you? You're listening to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio. We'll be right back after the break.
There's more We're Just Saying with NC Senator Vickie Sawyer on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Looking for a night of laughs? This Saturday, Mike Goodwin, who's been on America's Got Talent, is coming to Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius. Kane Center for the Arts' 2024 fall season, comedian Mike Goodwin. This Saturday, September 9th. For more info, visit kanearts.org. The Iredell County Agricultural Fair is going on right now. For $5 until September 9th, enjoy thrills and yummy treats going on at the Iredell County Fairgrounds in Troutman. The Iredell County Agricultural Fair runs through this Saturday. Apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is here. The apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is a very short window. Apple picking will end September 30th. Only in September. Book your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. The Full Bloom Film Festival is happening this week, September 7th, 8th, and 9th in Statesville. Happening on Meeting Street in downtown Statesville, the Full Bloom Film Festival features diverse quality cinema. Where I Belong, the documentary about the life of Statesville's own Rocky Lynn, will play twice. For more info, visit fullbloomfilmfestival.org. Lost Worlds Brewing is hosting their 3rd annual Harvest Market. Celebrate autumn on Sunday during the Harvest Market with tasty beer, food, and live music. This is happening at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius. Harvest Market is from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Sunday at Lost Worlds Brewing. For more info, visit lostworldsbeer.com. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now a look at your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a nice day out there early. 87 degrees is your high while the sun's out, but later in the afternoon, expect for that rain to roll in. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., and overnight a 60% chance of rain with a low of 66. This has been your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center.
Now, more We're Just Saying with North Carolina Senator Vickie Sawyer on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio with Senator Vickie Sawyer and David. Like to be part of our show, 844 Studio 4. We are still streaming live on the WSIC News Facebook page, YouTube, Twitter, or for X now, formerly known as Twitter, and LinkedIn. You know, sometimes I wonder in this live streaming world, I don't understand sometimes where the cameras are. Because I feel like that even though there's no sound coming out, if people are watching us on the camera, is fairly hysterical, I think, to sort of see like some of the like before we came on the air, right? You're trying to put your headphones on and you've mowed your hair all into your face, and so you've got this like ratty look going on right now. It's no offense, but it's like because you hit your headphones, so it's like I really feel like the entertainment value really is on the streaming side.
Well,
so,
speaking of entertainment value, we're not going to do it now, but we do have a new segment that we're going to introduce at the very end.
And its segment's going to be called Rated X.
Rated X.
So, Bill, if we end up in YouTube jail, just know it could be coming. But yes, we're gonna not talk about what it is just yet.
Yes.
But Rated X, is coming in our in the last segment of the show.
You know what else is coming?
What's that?
To the Cherokee.
Did it pass?
Last night. This is an original, so everybody can take it. So the Cherokee did have a vote last night, and there was a new tribal chief elected in, and some other things. So just saying, out with Chief Sneed and in with the weed.
In with the weed.
That is
well done.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Huzzah.
Well done. Huzzah. Jimmy Fallon got nothing on you.
Yes, with my ratty hair. So the Cherokee had some pretty substantial vote last night, and they voted in a former elected chief. His name is Chief Mitchell Hicks, and he was back for a fourth term with 65% of the vote. Chief Sneed, who had served very valiantly during a lot of different new things going on with the Cherokee, but now they decided that they wanted a new chief, and also recreational marijuana.
So and so this was a question that came up last time when we talked about this was, is this like medical? Is this only for members of the tribe to be able to purchase, or can the person who's headed into Harrah's Casino stop off and grab a little ganja before they head into the blackjack tables?
Well, I did absolutely talk to a criminal defense attorney who may also serve in the Senate. And I asked him, I was like, how is this going to work? So it is, if you are 21 years or older and you stay on tribal land, then recreational marijuana is legal.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Now, the issue comes back if you were to bring that off of the tribal land into your home that is not located within the boundaries, then that's where you have the issue of possession. So I also asked, I said, well, does it matter that you obtained it legally? Like, is there a caveat in the law that makes it different that since you purchased it legally, like say in Colorado, now in Cherokee, maybe Virginia, those two things are bringing across state line, I guess, so that's where it is. But anyways, it doesn't matter about if it was legal or illegal. It's all about the possession and the amount of the possession that you have on person.
You have done a lot of research into this.
Well, I was curious because I was like, well, how does this work? And what in the future is going to happen in setting this type of precedent with them being a sovereign nation? What else is next? Like, where does this go? So marijuana is in front of us now, but maybe there's something that comes up that you and I never thought about that they can start doing. And it is right here in they're our neighbor. And so it's just interesting to see how that all works.
And as a reminder, I think it was last week we talked about Congressman Chuck Edwards.
Yes.
Had been threatening if they did this to pass run a bill in Congress that would basically, I guess, decertify them from their federal recognition.
Right, or something being able to receive money from federal.
Money from
but,
federal funds.
It was a pretty substantial, with 70% of the referendum, those who voted in the referendum said that they do legalize recreational cannabis. Now, another question on the referendum for the Cherokee was if they should allow the ABC Commission to issue permits for the sale of mixed drinks at hotels, restaurants, and convention centers. Only 68% said yes for that.
So over 70 for passing of weed, recreational weed, but only in the 60s for liquor by the drink, mixed drinks. Well, I mean, some people, draw a line somewhere, right? You can't be for everything.
What is that 2% thinking? Like, they must be really hardcore supporting.
Well, I mean, I guess you could argue that weed is all natural from the earth, farmed, everything like that. Well, whereas a good margarita probably doesn't fit into that definition.
But as a man from Candler, do you not realize that? I mean,
why do you hick it up every time you talk about my hometown?
I just love it.
As a young man from Candler, it's like, can't you? I mean, we're Southern enough as it is, and you just like take it down to the next level. It's like Bumpkinville here.
Well.
Yes, I am a young man from Candler.
Okay.
Proud.
I mean, you could say
Candleronian.
You could say that also certain types of alcohol is from the earth.
Yeah, that's true. You could.
Grain
my grandfather had a number of jugs of such alcohol from the earth. Elixir.
I'm sure it was for a cold due to cough.
Fantastic cough medicine.
Cough due to cold,
all medicinal.
Yeah.
All medicinal. 100% all medicinal. But no, so it's interesting. But that is interesting to see that not as many people passed it. But obviously, so was the. I'll be interested to know where Chief Snead was on the issue,
I don't know.
and if that impacted sort of whether or not he got reelected or not. Because I got to think those two had to go hand in hand, right?
Yeah, I do. But also, he had kind of led the forefront of diversify. I was reading a little bit about this, about diversifying some of their interests, because they did see that there are other casinos that possibly will be here in North Carolina. Definitely ones that are in the Catawba tribe, which is just closer to Charlotte. And then we, had the one in Danville, Virginia that opened up. So there's some competition for that same market that was running around. So they were trying to diversify their interest there. I don't know. I can't speak to that, but I do understand that it was a pretty contentious vote. But it sounds like overwhelmingly that people were very directed in what they wanted to do and see the nation go towards. So
well, there you go then. Well, and it's I'll find the sovereign nation component and sort of the laws that go into that fascinating, and that kind of stuff. Just as a little bit of a policy nerd, that kind of stuff fascinates me. But something that is not as fascinating. Are you picking a fight with the cable companies?
Oh, you know what? Is it really calling cut the cord when you don't subscribe to the cable service, but you do buy their internet? So it's not really cutting the cord, but I will say that I do have I do have Spectrum for, for our home service, but I do not have their cable service. So I'm a YouTube TV person.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I am now a YouTube TV person, but mainly because I'd been DirecTV forever.
Yeah.
And I went to YouTube TV because they have the NFL Sunday Ticket now.
Well, knowing that I'm really invested in this fall's football schedule,
Yes.
I was very concerned for those folks who were watching college football last week, and next thing you know, it's over.
Well, and I will tell you, as someone who wanted to watch Deion Sanders' debut as head coach of Colorado, Deion Sanders was a football player
who actually played with one of our very own Iredell County commissioners, Gene Help.
Yes,
at Florida State.
At Florida
But
State,
go ahead.
absolutely. Yes.
See,
Look
I'm
at you.
in. I'm in.
I'm telling you, you are raising your sports game.
I am.
You are raising your
I'm
sports
going to
game.
get there eventually.
Eventually. Well, now that you have YouTube TV, you can
Yes.
watch the NFL Sunday Ticket, which of course is all the games. But DirecTV also is in a battle with Fox over, I guess, the cost to broadcast their programming. And the NFL season kicked off last night with the Detroit Lions unseating the
Chiefs?
defending champs.
Yeah.
The defending champs, absolutely.
Look, ding, ding.
And they covered. And
Yeah.
not that
Not that you would be betting on something.
Never.
What does
That's just
cover mean?
Cover means that the spread was now the point
is
spread.
this gambling?
Yeah, this is gambling. I'm going to educate you a little bit, okay? Since you might be voting on this soon, so it's
Already
it's
did.
important.
Sports gambling is-
Yes, sports betting.
Yes.
Sorry, you did vote on it.
Yes,
so
we
but you
did.
don't know what the spread is.
No.
Okay, so the spread is basically when Las Vegas looks at a game, and
Okay.
last night they looked at Detroit versus the Chiefs,
Chiefs,
and they put the spread at -4.5. Chiefs -4.5, which basically they're saying that they felt like that the Chiefs were going to win by 5 or more points. And then if you were a sports bettor, not that I would ever do that, but if you were a person who was prone to place a wager, you would say, hey, no, I think Detroit, I think the Chiefs could still win, but I think that it will be less than 5 points. So
Okay.
that means that they would cover.
Oh, okay.
And
Got
then
it.
so if you bet Detroit, you would then get paid.
Okay.
But since Detroit won, if you bet it didn't matter at that point because they won, and so you win automatically that way.
Well, so one of the things that we are, and we can talk about this a little bit later on the budget, is a huge issue about casinos. Will it be in the budget? Will it not be in the budget? Right as of right now, I don't know. I mean, it looks like the House is going to take care of that. But if you go to Cherokee, you can vote in the casino on sports, right? They have a betting.
You can bet. You can't vote on them. You
can bet. You can
but
bet.
You could call betting a vote.
Okay, but you can bet in the,
Yes.
But with these other casinos that are proposed, would they also have the sports book in their casinos?
Yes, that would be that would be part of the deal.
That all is part of the deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't. If you had a casino, you would have a sports book in it.
Okay.
I mean, that sort of goes with the territory.
Oh, does it? Okay, yeah, I don't know.
But the I mean, that's a huge draw for people to come in. And if you've ever been up to Cherokee and been in their sports book, it's
I have
an
been there,
amazing.
yeah.
It's an amazing. They've done a fantastic job with flat screen TVs, comfortable chairs, and everything.
Is there
like that.
any other TV other than a flat screen TV anymore?
No. They have curved TVs now.
Okay.
They're curved TVs. So, you're throwing shade my way today, and I just don't get it. I have been nothing but kind to you.
Yes, you have.
I take
I know.
time
It's
out
my
of my busy
disheveled look
schedule.
is what- yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I was just being honest then. I was just being honest then. So, but I think that it will be interesting to see how casinos pan out inside the budget.
But if you
a
were
lot riding on that.
but if you're a Spectrum a Spectrum user this weekend, you got to go find your game covered somewhere else, right?
Yep, you do.
Them and Disney are really fighting. One of the things that Governor Cooper actually, sent a sternly worded letter.
Well, I'm sure that took care of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was all that was necessary.
Yeah,
they
I'm
were
sure
sitting there in the middle of their battle, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Well, wait a minute, guys.
Whoa, Roy Cooper just sent this letter, and it seems pretty stern. All right, let's get on this."
Yeah, I know.
It's like calling in to break a federal union strike, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Call Roy Cooper if you want your rates, if you want Fox News back on your spectrum.
Yeah.
If you want Fox back on your spectrum, so you can watch football.
But there is an attorney who filed lawsuit out of Florida that is gaining a little headwinds, and he's trying to get a class action lawsuit, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe that will be the letter that they actually pay attention to.
Nothing like a good class action lawsuit.
That's right.
You're listening to We're Just Saying on WSIC News. We'll be right back.
We're Just Saying with NC Senator Vickie Sawyer will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Hey everybody, it's Kathy, the GM at Stretch Zone. Are you looking to hit a golf ball farther, increase mobility on the pickleball or tennis court, or just sit more comfortably in a chair? The Stretch Zone method retrains muscles to move more freely with greater range of motion and less effort. This promotes increased flexibility, heightened physical and athletic skills, and increased quality of life. As your body ages, it takes more of an effort to maintain your level of fitness and mobility. If you have lost the ability to perform the activities that you love the most, our programs can help you regain the lifestyle you once enjoyed. Invest in yourself by scheduling an appointment with Stretch Zone today. Our practitioners do all the work and you receive all of the benefit. And your first visit is free. Visit Stretch Zone at 20545 Torrance Chapel Road in Cornelius and 591 River Highway in Mooresville. You will thank yourself. Stretch Zone Cornelius and Mooresville.
And now a look at your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a nice day out there early. 87 degrees is your high while the sun's out, but later in the afternoon, expect for that rain to roll in. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., and overnight a 60% chance of rain with a low of 66. This has been your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive, whatever the season is. Randy Marion service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Here's Daily Hope with Pastor Rick Warren.
The Bible says it is not good for man to be alone, and God meant for us to be in community with each other. Whether you ever get married or not, doesn't matter. Really what matters is, do you have a spiritual family, a group of 3 or 4 or 5 people that you can walk through life with so you're not on your own?
Hear more from Rick Warren at PastorRick.com.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
Black Powder Coffee is celebrating their 10th anniversary with a medium dark roast blend of Indonesian and South American coffee beans. Enjoy the full-bodied natural flavor notes of chocolate with a bright finish. Get Black Powder Coffee's new anniversary blend today at Black Powder Coffee, 261 Rolling Hill Road, Mooresville, or participating retailers everywhere. Black Powder Coffee.
It's always great to have the right tools and supplies when working outside. Little Shavers Woodshop is ready to help. Little Shavers has all your wood, treated lumber, wood fencing, and all the treatment items to keep them looking great. PVG paints and stains, and add in some pine needles and Daddy Pete's mulch and soils, and your landscaping will be the best around. Head on over to Little Shavers, 3301 Salisbury Highway, right in between Statesville, Morrisville, and Moxville. Visit littleshaverswoodshop.com. That's LILShaverswoodshop.com.
Call now to speak with NC Senator Vickie Sawyer at 844-STUDIO-4. It's We're Just Saying on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio. You're listening to Senator Vickie Sawyer and David. If you'd like to be part of our show, 844. I'm all out of sorts today.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm messing with you. I
really
apologize.
844. I'm a
Yes.
professional. Okay.
Okay,
844 Studio 4. We're also streaming live on the WSIC News Facebook page, YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Yes.
So a little bit of excitement down in Raleigh this week. We mentioned casinos just before we went out of the break. There was some protesting going against casinos in Raleigh this week.
There were were some protesting that was going on against casinos, and mostly from Nash County and Rockingham County, two of the proposed locations that these casinos will be in there. So it was, they actually got a little, I think it's pretty catchy. It says casino. No. I think that's a pretty,
well played.
I think that's pretty good. It kind of sticks there, but they have the big red buttons that says casino. No.
They can't get jobs in their counties, but you know they can bring they can bring the funny on the play on words. Well played.
But, you know, that is also something that's been a little bit of a dramatic for those of you who are budget watchers and want to know what's going on. I mean, it does seem like that a 3-hour caucus, and a caucus, remember, that's when each elected political party, the people who are elected within the House or the Senate, get together and they discuss their next moves and what's going on. My understanding is there was it was reported a 3-hour caucus for the House. Miserable. That sounds like a lot of talking.
Yes, a lot of talking.
See, they need to be like the Senate. Like I call ourselves the frozen chosen. We walk in, we listen, we walk out. That's how it goes.
Hey,
kidding.
That's effective, right?
I'm kidding.
That's effective.
What are those people in the House doing with all their free will and individual thought? Oh, come on, guys.
We do not encourage free will.
No,
we do not encourage individual thought.
We are the Senate. We do not do that kind of thing.
Exactly. But it's funny because, like, really, I guess the drive against casinos in North Carolina has really ramped up. A lot of mailers, a lot of social media going out, a lot of news articles being written, bloggers, pontificators, and such, you know, chiming in, and even somebody threw out that shady backroom deals and all this other kind of stuff.
Who was that?
I don't know who it was, but it solicited a response from Donald Trump Jr.
Donald
Trump Jr. Who said, "What's going on in North Carolina? Outrageous. Shady backroom deals and crony capitalism are not the path to MAGA." And it's kind of, dude, what's your last name? What's your now? Again, the path to MAGA is something that I'm not familiar. Is that on a map? Like, is there something that draws that out? But Donald Trump Jr. commenting on shady look, I'm sorry, people who listen to this show who love you and love Donald Trump, no offense, but shady backroom deals and crony capitalism, and your last name's Trump.
That's like, how big was that rock he was trying to throw at that glass house?
Pot, meat, kettle. I mean, good gracious. But, I guess, Twitter's, but there is a Raleigh, Republican Raleigh guy, Brent Woodcocks, who actually tweeted back at him with a picture of the Trump, thing in Las Vegas and said, "This you?" Yeah. So irony abounds, but it is interesting though. It is interesting though that the case for casinos that has been made has consistently been economic development in rural counties, the opportunity to bring jobs, the opportunity to bring sales tax dollars to try to lift up these counties that in a lot of ways are struggling with school funding and people finding jobs, with in many instances crime. And so, but these, Nash and Rockingham specifically coming out saying, no, we don't want it. Don't bring it here. So it really is sort of an interesting kind of, paradox between the two.
Right.
Because you've got, hey, we want to do this and bring a lot of jobs and infrastructure and money into your county. And people there saying, no, we don't want it.
Yeah. So for me, whether the casino is here or not, I can see both sides. It's just been very interesting to watch the politics of all of this and how it's unfolded. And, you can insert any type of conversation here or any thought about it, but how was this leaked to the press? How was this actually caucus? Some of the folks in the Republican caucus, from my understanding, felt disrespected because they had not been sat down and talked to about the casino. Personally, I've not really talked to any casino owner. I have not been lobbied for a casino. Does that mean it's bad or good? No, I'm just saying that there's a lot of member education that did not happen in regards to these casinos that is causing a huge backlash. So for me, I'm not in charge, so I can't really do this, but I really feel like there was a missed opportunity to educate members about the economic value of casinos, the rank and file members, right? The ones that may not be the ones who have the budget pen in their hand, but do have a vote. We all have a vote and push green or red. And those of us who are just anti-gambling, any kind of sin, if you're going to call that a sin, whatever that is, a vice, whatever that is, whatever you perceive as a sin. It doesn't have to be gambling. It can be anything. Right. Not to speak to those people and just to at least listen to their, naysay, I think was a huge blunder all the way through by this, because you have to educate members, because we do feel and we do represent people at home. And so when you take our vote for granted, or you put or shove things into a budget, I can understand why there is this guttural, this rebuke of this idea. Maybe it isn't that casinos are so bad. Maybe it was how the message is being delivered and how the respect is giving to those people in the house. I actually understand their concerns, although I don't disagree with casinos and the opportunity for economic development that it can bring to these rural areas. I do understand that how they were treated is very disrespectful.
Yeah, and I can definitely understand that. And and if you look at the sports betting bill as an example, that was
Vetted.
2 years,
Yes.
but and the first time it went through, it failed by one vote.
Right.
But it was heavily vetted, heavily discussed, numerous iterations,
Right.
a lot of education, and then got to the floor the first time, didn't make it, got to the floor the second time this year and made it, right? Because people were able to be educated, studies were done, there was a Spectrum Gaming report that was put out, there was a whole policy symposium that was held. Member education,
right?
And to get people comfortable, because when the sweet lady at the church fellowship hall is calling,
right,
and saying, hey, we want you to say no to this, because it'll have this effect and that effect,
right?
You need to be equipped with the answers to be able to respond to those things,
right?
If possible. And if you don't have that information, then you're not able to do it,
right?
And I have been around a number of elected officials in my day, and when you back an elected official into a corner and they don't have the information that they need in order to inform their constituents, their default position is going to be no.
Absolutely, because what happens to them? They're going to turn around and have a huge primary. They're going to have to defend a position that was made for them by somebody else. If they're not bought into the concept, then they're going to turn on you. And that's exactly what we see is happening in the House. And quite frankly, I don't blame them for that. I would feel the same if I didn't have that kind of information in front of me. I feel a little bit like that, just as someone who's even in the Senate that didn't, like I said, no one sat down and talked to me about the value of a casino in Anson County, other than other members that may be supportive of that. But it doesn't mean that my vote should be taken for granted on this issue. And when you disrespect and put things in there and not properly vet it, then you are going to get this kind of rebuke, i.e., the toll roads. I mean, that's what I'm sitting here thinking the whole time about this is to me, and that's why I mentioned that this has just been a very interesting case study in politics from this side of things, because we saw this unravel with the toll roads here in our very own community. Unpopular concept in home, very popular in Raleigh.
Yeah.
And what happened at home? We lost a governor over this very issue. And is this casino thing going to be that big? I don't know. The people who were there protesting on Tuesday surely hope that it is. And the folks from Family Values and, again, who do not see gambling as something that is positive, are definitely going to try to make it that battle cry, especially come primary season. The closer this vote gets to filing for some of these members, they are absolutely going to turn and say no.
Well, and ambiguity is not your friend. It never is. And I think one of the things that has to sort of be taken into account into this is the makeup of a Republican primary.
Right.
You can there's a lot of polling out that suggests that there's a lot of support for casino gaming in North Carolina for the economic benefits, the tax revenue that it brings. Most people are supportive if you look at it, but a lot of that can be in a general election population.
Right.
When you're talking about a Republican primary population, it's a whole separate group of people.
Right.
And those sweet ladies in the church fellowship hall and the Family Values and folks in the rural areas wield a big stick in a Republican primary.
And do you not think that's why Donald Trump Jr. knows that? Donald Trump Jr. knows that, and that's why he and CPAC are tweeting out against this, because they know they have to win a Republican primary coming up. And if they come out against this and they say that we are doing shady backroom gambling legislation and paint the current electeds as the establishment, then it's a win for them.
Yeah.
So it's all calculated with these kind of outcries like that.
Well, it is, and I
I
think Donald Trump Jr. and would probably be the first to tell you that the correct path to MAGA and casino gaming is don't get caught doing it in the back room.
Yes.
You don't let it leak out, because that's how it's really effective. Right. I like to think that's probably what he's talking about. He's got something to teach you all. It's like, look, if you're going to do shady backroom deals, guys, you just can't let it leak.
Well, I mean, kind of like leaving a laptop somewhere and
exactly.
Yes,
laptop. Well played. Well played.
Thank you.
You're listening to We're Just Saying on WSIC News. We'll be right back.
More We're Just Saying with NC Senator Vickie Sawyer is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Here's your WSIC community calendar. Looking for a night of laughs? This Saturday, Mike Goodwin, who's been on America's Got Talent, is coming to Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius. Kane Center for the Arts' 2024 fall season, comedian Mike Goodwin. This Saturday, September 9th. For more info, visit kanearts.org. The Iredell County Agricultural Fair is going on right now. For $5 until September 9th, enjoy thrills and yummy treats going on at the Iredell County Fairgrounds in Troutman. The Iredell County Agricultural Fair runs through this Saturday. Apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is here. The apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is a very short window. Apple picking will end September 30th. Only in September. Book your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. The Full Bloom Film Festival is happening this week, September 7th, 8th, and 9th in Statesville. Happening on Meeting Street in downtown Statesville, the Full Bloom Film Festival features diverse quality cinema. Where I Belong, the documentary about the life of Statesville's own Rocky Lynn, will play twice. For more info, visit fullbloomfilmfestival.org. Lost Worlds Brewing is hosting their 3rd annual Harvest Market. Celebrate autumn on Sunday during the Harvest Market with tasty beer, food, and live music. This is happening at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius. Harvest Market is from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Sunday at Lost Worlds Brewing. For more info, visit lostworldsbeer.com. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now a look at your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a nice day out there early. 87 degrees is your high while the sun's out, but later in the afternoon, expect for that rain to roll in. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., and overnight a 60% chance of rain with a low of 66. This has been your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center.
We're Just Saying continues now. Here's your host, NC Senator Vickie Sawyer, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to We're Just Saying on WSIC News Radio with Senator Vickie Sawyer and David. Like to be part of our show, 844 Studio 4. We are still streaming live on the WSIC News Facebook page, YouTube, X, or Twitter, and also LinkedIn. If you caught the X, we were teasing a new segment that we're going to get to in momentarily called Rated X.
Rated X.
So, if Bill, if we keep track of the ratings by segment, I feel like that everything just jumped for us right now.
Yeah.
I feel like that everybody was waiting for right here. So I'll be interested to see how that jumped up. But real quick, you and I were talking during the break. You got the big M question came up. Obviously, it's election time all through the I-77 corridor for municipalities.
Sure.
And the big M word, meaning moratorium, has gotten brought up again. You seem to always get drug into this. On this whole moratorium thing.
Yeah, a local issue. I might as well have a state senator get into that, right?
Exactly, 100%. But for those who are not familiar, the town of Mooresville had set up a committee a few months ago to basically go through and review the land use plan, to look at sort of the corridors within the land use plan where, high density made sense, where they would like to dial back on that in order to sort of get feedback to sort of try to get a handle, if you will, on the growth that's happening in Mooresville. But obviously there's nuances to this. It doesn't fit well in a 10-second soundbite, but you continually get drug into this.
Yeah. So just be reminded that state law requires that any entity that enacts a moratorium must identify the problem to be addressed during the moratorium and fund the remedy.
So, for example, fund
the remedy.
The remedy. So let's say, for example, traffic. Traffic seems to be the
Highway
concern.
150.
Highway 150, traffic seems to be the
Highway
concern
73,
that people are articulating as the impetus and the foundation for a moratorium. So if said moratorium were to move forward, identifying 150 and traffic as the problem, we go to the second part of the requirement, which means what?
Funda.
Which means that you've identified your problem.
Right.
You're implementing the moratorium. Now you must fund the solution.
Right. Exactly.
And which means the municipality must fund the solution.
Right.
And it can't just be a study.
No.
You're not allowed to say, oh, we're going to fund a study. No. You have identified traffic. Therefore, you are going to spend the money to correct said problem.
Right.
During the moratorium.
Right.
And moratoriums cannot last indefinitely, by the way.
Correct.
6 months, I think,
Yeah.
is the...
60 days at first, and then gets up for renewal, and then,
I think 6 months is the maximum, or 6 months to a year is the maximum. So you can either hopefully maybe win the lottery as a municipality, or you can raise taxes.
Right.
But you got to fund said traffic improvements.
Right. Absolutely. And so in the thing that our area, not just Mooresville, but also Cornelius and Huntersville are all facing is that the DOT had hundreds of millions of dollars of promised projects for our district and failed to deliver them. So meanwhile, these developments that have been coming through that were, that these municipalities had approved based on the promises from the state Department of Transportation that 73 would be widened, or that exit 28 was going to be fixed, or that, Highway 150 was going to be done. Those things were promised to start years ago, and they're not going to be starting from years from now. And so this poor municipalities are kind of caught in this conundrum of they've already approved these developments, these higher density developments, because people want to be in higher density areas. And the state has failed to honor their promises on these roads.
Yeah, and to be fair, the local elected officials are really victims of this.
They are.
They are trying to make decisions that are best for their towns and everything. And to be fair, tax revenue comes with growth. If you don't have growth, then at some point in time when inflation kicks in, everything like that, you have to raise taxes on people if you don't have new growth, new taxes coming in to fund it. So they are having to balance those things against traffic. It is a horrible conundrum with absolutely no good answer.
Right.
But people beware. I always say beware of people with simple answers to complex problems.
Right.
Because generally they don't get it, and it's not going to work.
Generally, they just moved in about 2 years ago, and they go, "Oh, you dumb Hicks!
Exactly, you dumb
Y'all
Hicks.
hadn't thought of this before.
Y'all hadn't thought
Bless
of
your
this.
hearts.
Let me tell you how we did it up in Jersey.
Yeah. Let me tell you what happened in Jersey and how great it is, and that's why I'm still there.
Exactly. Oh, wait. Oops. Yeah. Let me. I can come in and correct you guys.
Speaking of snarky.
So you're ready?
I think I'm ready.
About this. So
I think I'm ready.
We're introducing our new segment, Rated X.
Yes.
So for no FCC violations coming or anything like that, but we are, Twitter now called X.
Yes.
I keep butchering that in the intro.
Me
so,
too.
we're gonna start reading some mean. Like if you ever watch the Tonight Show,
yes.
They talk mean tweets.
Yes.
And so we're gonna read some mean tweets.
Well,
have been or not that you have sent, but in response to some things that you have said.
So I was reading through some tweets, and I was like, wow, these people are horribly mean. That actually is pretty darn funny.
so first one. So you had the nerve to wish people via your Twitter, your X account, a happy Labor Day.
Yes. Go ahead. You first.
So it said, "Happy Labor Day. Today, let's take a moment to appreciate the dedication and hard work of North Carolina workers. Your contributions to our economy are invaluable. We wish everyone in our great state a relaxing day with family and friends." Highly controversial. You were asking for it there, Senator Sawyer.
I know.
You were asking for it. So tell us a few of the responses that you got.
All right. On September 5th, Charles Davis says the right-winger who can't even pass a budget on time.
Fair. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's nice, but it's fair, right? You still ain't have a budget.
I know. Okay.
Right winger might be harsh. I don't know that you're right wing.
All right. Well, in that same thing, Meg with a peace sign.
She has a peace.
She's a peace sign,
like peace and love. Okay.
Yeah, peace and love. So Meg with a peace and love sign. Pass a budget, you slacker.
Oh, well, Meg, obviously she meant that in the most peaceful way possible.
Yes. Well, I think there's another one that I don't think I can deliver as well as you can on this.
Okay, so I'm going to be fair with you. This one I thought, say what you want about people who are truly hateful.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be creative.
Yeah, right.
So my favorite was, have you no shame? No shame, Senator Sawyer. This is like a Nazi wishing a Jew a happy Seder.
Oh, gosh. Oh, God.
Now, that's harsh.
That's harsh.
I mean, that's mean on so many different levels, wrong on so many different levels, but obviously warranted because you had the nerve to wish people a happy Labor Day.
Yes, yeah.
So you got a lot of nerve. And so, but then you had a couple of others that got thrown your way. You had the nerve to wish everyone a happy good luck back to school.
Yeah. Oh my God. God forbid that I say
anything back to school. So
back to
you
school.
you said happy back to school, North Carolina. We're excited to welcome back students, teachers, and staff of another exciting academic year. We wish you success in the classroom as you make new discoveries and find all the opportunities for growth that rest ahead. What are you thinking? Gee, how is it you get elected?
I don't know.
Saying things like this on social media.
I know.
How have you kept out of X jail? So, but there were some highly funny responses to you though.
Well, this one was interesting. Sabrina really hit hard with this one. All students? Or just cis students?
Cis.
Well,
oh man, we're full on radio now.
I know.
We're full on radio. We have sound effects going in. So, but to answer her question, was it all students?
I mean, apparently
you didn't single anyone out.
Let's see, what does the tweet say? Back to school. Happy back to school. Students,
you
teachers,
did not
and
say
staff.
cis students
No,
and
no.
cis teachers
No.
and cis staff.
No, I
so,
did not.
you were trying to be inclusive, obviously.
Yes. Now remember, Beatrice also reminded me of my meanness by telling everyone welcome back to school. So Beatrice says, save it. You haven't done your job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hard hitting from Beatrice. Hard hitting from, and you know, if her name is Beatrice, then it's just going to hit harder.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's a name that like that seems like with my a name for like my grandmother or something like that when she would scold me. And it's a great name, don't get me wrong, but it hits harder because it feels like you're being really scolded.
Yeah, I know.
From Beatrice.
All right. Well, this one is a little bit wordy, but we'll let Deer Creek Carnini. Anyways, he's definitely or she's definitely a fan of Ukraine. So because he has a Ukrainian flag.
Oh, and we all know that the Ukrainian flag, that's really moving the needle.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously very very socially minded.
Well,
with
yeah,
this
because
flag.
the big guy needs his money, right?
Yes,
I mean,
does. The big guy needs his money.
The big guy needs his 10%. Okay, so to my thing, happy back to school. Deer Creek Ukrainian guy says. Also, Senator Sawyer, quote, let's use taxpayer money to fund private schools and dismantle public education.
So is he for or against it?
Hey,
I mean, it's a little ambiguous. Obviously, with the Ukraine flag, I have to think he's, not supporting that.
I don't know.
But to be fair, it's a little ambiguous. If people are going to look, I think it is not too much to ask that if people are going to tweet back to you for the horrible things that you say on X, they could be a little less ambiguous,
yeah.
right? Like the guy that called you a Nazi.
Yes.
Like that's the unambiguous.
Right.
That's right there, and you appreciate that direct approach.
Yeah.
I think. So those are two high quality. So, but you realize now you have set the expectation that this is
Keep
going
them
to be
coming.
a segment.
Yes.
That means you're going to have to tweet more.
Yes.
Or X more.
Yeah, I'm going to X more.
You're going to have to X more.
And we'll do other platforms too.
Because
All are welcome.
Because we have to have content now for this segment that we have advertised. And if you would like to be a sponsor of said advertisement or segment, please call WSIC News and talk to Bill. I'm sure he'd be happy to sell you at a good rate, sponsoring Rated X. So anyway,
See, they're a part of our lives, so we might as well enjoy all part of our lives. It's all about perspective, right?
Exactly.
So keep them coming. We're gonna highlight your mean tweets.
Keep the hate coming.
Keep the hate coming because we're gonna enjoy what you get, the gift you have given us.
So going into the weekend, are you gonna back at the fair this weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure to go back to the Iredell County Fair this weekend, but also tomorrow, very importantly, there is a huge race, Mooresville Fondo. Fondo meaning a bike race. I think it's a really fun, competitive thing. It's in celebration of Mooresville's 150 year. If you want to go and learn more about it, even sign up and participate, it's mooresvillefondo.com. Downtown will be bustling tomorrow with this activity, and it's going to be an amazing day.
Rotary is a big contributor and sponsor, or not sponsor, but helping put that on. So excited for that.
Yeah.
And then obviously Balloon Fest.
Bloom Festival, which is Statesville's version of a film festival. So Rocky Lynn, who's obviously associated with WSIC, will be debuting his documentary about his life. And so make sure that if you're in Statesville to go out and support local.
Lots of good stuff to do around the area. Thank you for listening. We're just saying on WSIC News Radio. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great weekend.